All right, so now I'm going to move on to discussing some important Black social work efforts. So Blacks have had long-standing traditions of self-help and mutual aid in African ancestry before we were stolen and forced into American slavery, which was used during slavery and our fight for freedom. However, self-help and mutual aid were also leveraged in social work history, since Blacks were largely excluded from participation in white social service systems of care. In response to being left out of dominant social work efforts, Blacks had to establish parallel and separate systems to ensure that their welfare and needs were being met. A similar path was taken in Black social work education, employment, and research. For example, Black settlement houses and organizations were created to provide Black-focused social services and reform in the absence of support by white settlement houses. I've included a few important ones here that came up in the literature, but this list is certainly not exhaustive. Black charity organizations in the spirit of Black philanthropy also formed to provide charity independent of white charities. And again, here are some that came up a lot in the research that I read. I should also note that a number of Black organizations arose to meet the needs of the Black community that often supported Black communities when white welfare organizations did not. Again, here are some that were dominant in the literature. For example, the Black Panther Party came up a number of times around their free breakfast programs and their medical movement around sickle cell in the African American community. HBCUs were also crucial in specifically targeting, recruiting, educating, training, and supporting Black social work students and scholars. And I've listed the primary HBCUs with schools of social work, and the one with asterisks are the ones that have PhD programs. And this book, Find a Way or Make One, just came out, and it's a phenomenal book for those that want to know more about HBCUs and schools of social work. So in an effort on focusing on research related to Black people and Black concerns, a number of Black leaders and scholars started their own journals and press venues frequently used by Black social work researchers. All right, so now I'm going to move on to the Black traditions that have been incorporated into social work. So spirituality is perhaps one of the most dominant traditions in social work. It has been used to provide spiritual and social connection, maintain ethics, morality, and integrity, give value and meaning to the Black race. But I think that the point that I found most interesting was the way in which spirituality was used in understanding that race is a sacred concept that was worth fighting for. It also emphasizes this idea of collective survival, advancement, and prosperity, and then facilitating human and social transformation. Self-help and mutual aid is another important tradition that's been used in social work to ensure that social welfare services were developed to meet the needs of the Black community. They established Black social work programs in Black colleges and universities, and then used for advocating for policy changes that would benefit Black people. Black empowerment has also been important as it relates to the notions around Black personal growth, especially around economics and political power, neighborhood cohesiveness, and then leveraging the strengths of clients. And one point that I don't think I can underscore enough was this idea around Black philanthropy, and specifically the way in which it's been leveraged in our profession around one being a tool that was primarily primarily used among Black women, or primarily raised by Black women in churches. It was often provided by poor Blacks for poor Blacks. So again, this understanding. this understanding of mutual aid. It's largely been leveraged in mitigating the effects of racism and oppression. And here's a quote that I thought was especially helpful for me to understand how it was used. It says that Black philanthropy was used as a mechanism for survival, mutual assistance, self-help, for social protests and the struggle for justice, for enhancement of educational and economic status of Blacks, and for the establishment of Black institutions.